Yee, welcome to Barstool Benchmark, presented by High Noon Hard Seltzer. I'm excited for this episode. There's a lot going on. College basketball is really, really fucking, it's everywhere now. You got SEC schools back to like, what the fuck, this atmosphere is insane. We've seen the Big 12. ACC's always been there. I am so excited to talk about these games except one. I forgot we didn't talk about it yet. Because we talked about it on Spaces, and I totally forgot I have to do that again. But one of our teams, mine, specifically me and Jake, not Rico's, because he abandoned ship, even though the man let us into his home and eat with his team, have a great time. He disowned them. You know that, right, Jake? He disowned them.
We went to Alabama and Arkansas over the summer back-to-back, and I don't know how much. You know what? I'm going to check right now how many times Rico's tweeted about Arkansas this season. I don't know if it's many.
I don't think he has. When they were low at the beginning of the year, when they lost early, he was out. He literally goes, "Oh, this team stinks." I'm like, "Hey, right now they do. They got to figure it out."
And objectively, he picked wrong because a pig emoji is way more fun to tweet out than a Nelson.
Saying "woo pig suey," whatever the fuck they say, is awesome. That atmosphere was sick. And it's one of my loves, so I don't have to talk about it now. But like, that atmosphere is crazy. Arkansas is unreal atmosphere. I love it. Auburn, nothing against them. We'll get into that game, but I'm just excited to talk about it because you feel it now. People are all in on college basketball right now.
Yeah, I think. Well, I'll give Rico a little bit of a pass here. The last time he tweeted the word Arkansas, December 20th, our friends in Arkansas need to pick me up. December 18th, tough loss for Arkansas, very tough. But he hasn't been active on Twitter during their winning streak, so I feel like
it's his fault anyway.
I agree with what Marty said. It's awesome. Like, the atmospheres are awesome. I've been a Muss guy since he was at Nevada. I kind of hate that. I love and hate that he's at Arkansas because it's an SEC rival. Arkansas and Kentucky was the rivalry in the SEC in the 90s and until Florida really became a thing. But he's too good for me. Like, I need him to go somewhere. Like, I wish he went to the Big 12.
Yeah. No, yeah. It's him taking his shirt off. Again, we'll get into these games. Let's just get into it, Jake, because I'm ready to go.
And here we go.
All right, before we get into today's episode, again, I'm always here to talk to you about High Noon Hard Seltzer. Reags, let me get you in on this because everyone's sick of me hearing me talking about it. You were with Glenny on a Tuesday once in Cincinnati. What did you drink that entire time?
High Noon, only High Noons. It's the perfect summer drink. It's the perfect college basketball drink. It's what I'm already looking forward to and drinking this Saturday with college basketball before everything that goes on Sunday. So, give me peach, give me watermelon, give me all of them, but those two especially, and I'm good for the day.
Yeah, it's the best. It's like every time you go out, you don't know what you're feeling. You always know you're going to be satisfied with a High Noon.
It hits the spot every time.
Yeah, it does. They're looking for new flavors. So tell me what new flavors you guys want. But it's real vodka. It's real juice. You don't feel that disgusting thing in your stomach with the other malt liquors and all the food, whatever, the coloring. It's disgusting. High Noon doesn't have that. It's all real juice, and it's real vodka. Presented by us, and we're happy to have them always as a presenting sponsor. So shout out High Noon. All right, what do you want us to talk about? Arkansas first, or
well, on Monday's show, we opened up with Duke, North Carolina. Figured we should keep that trend and start off with the game in Cameron. Virginia 69, number 7 Duke 68. Monday night, 0.7 of a second. Reese Beekman, the hero, silences Duke.
No one even remembers the game anymore. It's this fucking league moves so fast. But Reags can go fuck himself because
just say I was right.
You weren't right. I mean, look. Also, right now, Duke is literally making the ACC going to have 6 teams. 6 teams are going to make the tournament now. Second,
I'll take the under. Give me whatever you want. I'll take the under.
I'll get into it, but that game, AJ Griffin, Paolo. That is never going to happen again in college in this season. Of them being, what they have combined, like 11 points.
Well,
I'm not looking at my phone.
It has
Yes,
happened because
9-2.
they forget to give Paolo the ball in the second half.
They do. They forget, and I
Like the
know
fourth
that.
time.
But I have some things. Paolo's kind of. When he just looks lazy sometimes. Like he just doesn't look like he just looks like he's going through the motions, but they don't give him the ball. But that's never going to have him combined 11 points ever again. Their defense looked like shit. Mark Williams was in foul trouble. Look, they played awful. Lost on a buzzer beater. What are you going to do? Virginia may get in the tournament now. Good for them. Tony Bennett, you have a way better Tony Bennett somewhere else that's singing. So fuck you. I don't care about Virginia. They suck. Did anyone understand that?
They suck, but they're making the tournament.
Well, because Duke is literally the ticket to everyone in the ACC, and they're just letting everyone have it. But it's just like, I know Duke played horrible. I'm worried about them that they have recently been doing it too often to these shittier teams, but I'm not worried about their talent. I know what they have. I know what type of team they are. They need to figure it the fuck out. And what I told Reags to go fuck himself is because he tweeted that they don't know how to close out close games, And I mean, you could also look at the other way. They just play even when they play really bad, they're losing by a little bit.
The fact is, though, great teams don't lose at home multiple times to shitty teams.
I don't know about that.
I mean, we can go through year by year. Great teams do not lose at home to shitty teams.
Riggs, I don't know if you know this. I'm a present guy. I was a history minor, but I don't. Why worry about history when?
Well, if you're in present time, you should be worried that they just lost.
No, present time.
At home to a
present
shitty
time. Team. It's Wednesday now. They're practicing. They're getting ready for a Thursday game when this podcast comes out. Hey, they have to win every game to be a 1 seed now, for sure.
I don't know if they can be a 1 seed now.
They 1,000% can.
I kind of think they're capped at a 2. I think they're capped at a 2.
Way.
If they run the table, that would be like 10 straight wins. They'll probably get it.
But
if
they need
run
a lot
the table
of help.
and win the ACC, they definitely get it.
But I think they need help. Because I think you have...
You are an asshole if you think they win every single game and then win the ACC tournament. You don't think they're going to be a 1 seed?
No, they need help. They need someone to lose.
They would
definitely
be,
people to lose.
But these
31-4, they would be a 1 seed.
31-4 and 31-4, and also these other teams. This is not shtick, Marty, for a fucking second. These other teams have good teams in their conference who they're gonna have to still play. Who's in the top 10?
Better wins.
Yeah, no, but they're gonna have bad. They're gonna be losing though. These teams are gonna be losing.
I think you see. I think Auburn and Gonzaga are going to be 1 seeds. I think you have 2 Big 12 teams, maybe 3, depending what Texas Tech does. But you have Baylor and Kansas is still potential 1 seeds. You have Kentucky as potential 1 seed. You have Purdue as potential 1 seed.
Texas Tech.
I don't think Duke can jump every single one of them to get there.
Texas Tech ain't gonna be a 1 seed. I could tell you that.
But I'm saying one of those three Big 12 teams are going to be a 1 seed.
So you think Kansas
or Baylor or Texas Tech?
So Baylor, no way. I think Baylor. They just lost. They've been losing a lot lately. They're banged up. They have a tough schedule coming up, and then Purdue, I think, is going to be a 1 seed. I do believe that. So it's going to be a fight for that last one. And
I just don't think Duke can really.
But I
think there's no signature win left. They can't get a signature winner.
But that's the thing, though. I think they have such an easier road to there, where it's 31-4. The AC still, no matter what we say, it still gets respect. It doesn't matter if you go 31-4. I still think they 1,000% get in as a 1 seed because of that. And they have an easier road because all these other teams are playing actual fucking really good teams. And I know you're saying with the wins and stuff, but those losses are still counting.
I just think they have more teams to jump. And at the same time, I don't think that they should be in the talk about a 1 seed. But what if Houston wins out, goes undefeated in the American, wins the American, they're 29-2.
And that's the same thing. It's like that's a really shitty conference.
Right, but I'm saying that's why I don't just looking at the record. I don't know. I think Duke can be a 2 seed for sure. I just don't think they can jump enough teams to get to a 1.
And I'm going to be honest, I legitimately want them to be a 2. I don't want them to be a 1. 1's too much pressure. 1's too much pressure.
To a 16.
I don't need the 16,
final game.
the 15.
Oh, that would be awesome.
The 15's scarier, obviously, than a 16. And then,
happened to you guys before.
Yeah, I don't remember.
10 years ago.
I don't look at history ever in my life.
Nobody else lost to a 15 seed that day either.
That's right.
What for sure wasn't Missouri losing to Norfolk State.
Yeah. Jake,
Also,
you threw that one into yourself.
I did.
That was your fault.
You also didn't mention Arizona as a 1.
Oh yeah, Arizona.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
if Duke runs the table, these teams could eat each other up. But I think there definitely still is a path.
Yeah, they're fine. They're fine. I'm not worried about them. Hey, Virginia. That I said that obviously as some guy was really upset that I was like the refs are against Duke. Bro, have you been following me? Obviously, 17-2. I understand. Do I think that was a foul at the end of the game? Yes, I really do. I think that guy cannot tie up Trevor Keels. Trevor Keels is a bouncer at a club. That guy's a little twerp that doesn't get in. He's not tying him up. I think he fouled him, but no matter what, you can't let that happen. That turnover under the basket, can't let that happen. They made very dumb mistakes that they need to learn from for the tournament. They can't let this bullshit happen. But yeah,
Duke got bullied in the paint. 52 points for Virginia is the most ever in an ACC game under Tony Bennett.
And that's also what I'm saying, though. Theo John needs to figure something out a little bit because Mark Williams.
That's why he's there.
Yeah, he's literally there to bully people out of the paint. And Mark Williams is going to get in foul trouble when he plays these other bigs. And Mark Williams is the only good defensive player we have. He's the best shot blocker, and honestly, it's close in the country. And they just need to not. I know fucking Kentucky guys is better as well, but still.
It's like
Mark
Williams is an unbelievable defender. Again, no shtick here. You can't even take that. I can't say anything negative about Mark Williams defensively, except he gets in foul trouble. And
we should have a segment. We should have a segment, a no shtick segment. When we have to, I think we got to do that. Me and you, and because Jake obviously is always a straight shooter. His fucking this guy doesn't stop. But me and you should have a no shtick segment where we have to talk real about our teams.
About the opposite teams.
Opposite teams, yes.
Opposite teams.
But yeah, Mark Williams was in foul trouble. So,
but the concerning thing to me is still the defense because
yes,
people go, they went 2-3 zone because Virginia can't shoot. Well, no, Duke went 2-3 zone because K.A. Clark was just immediately getting to the middle of the paint, and then everyone was disruptive, and then that's how they got all these points in the paint. Then you go 2-3 zone and couldn't get a rebound. So it's that's the thing I've been preaching about. Why I'm hesitant on this Duke team is I just don't trust this defense. If Virginia's doing that to you, Virginia's offense is not good.
No, it's bad, and you're right.
And what happens when you play like you said, let's say you play a 7 seed, on a Saturday afternoon? I don't know who's a projected 7 seed right now. Jake, do you have one off the top of your head?
Maybe
I'll look
Iowa State these days. It's like Iowa State.
Or so Indiana's a projected 7 seed. What if are you really going to trust that defense against Trace Jackson Davis?
No, and that's Mark Williams is all we have against him, and
right.
And he's obviously more athletic than Mark Davis, and then fucking Williams. But the thing with Duke, their offense is there. Again, I'm telling you, a combined 11 points between the two of them is never going to happen again. And I could literally guarantee that. They played so bad and still in that game because Virginia is not that great, but when you do have those games, which could happen in a tournament, you need your defense to step up, and they don't have that right now. So that's where they need to. That's their obvious flaw right now. That's a healthy conversation. Look at this healthy conversation we're having.
That night, are you concerned? Again, this is no shtick because it's happened now in their multiple losses where one they get away from Powell late in the game, second half, and then they just kind of get real inconsistent on offense too.
Yeah,
they should be an elite offensive team. I know they can't shoot, but you still have 4 first-round picks out there.
Powell needs to shoot a little better from 3. Well, he can, at least. AJ Griffin can shoot. We all know that. But no one else can. Roach can't shoot. Fucking Wendell Moore is lucky to get
your second-best shooter is Bates Jones.
Hey, fucking Daniel Jones' brother's sick.
So I'm going to say something, which I don't think you can disagree with Marty from a statistical standpoint.
Oh, God. Here's Jakey numbers. What?
I love it.
The ACC is wide open. 5 teams with 9 wins. Miami with 8. Syracuse with 7. It is no longer a cakewalk.
Yes, it is.
There's 5 teams tied with 3 weeks left.
Bro.
I will say, Duke only has 3 home games. Duke only has 3 home games. They still have to go on the road 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times.
Yeah. No, it is not. Saying wide open is disgusting.
Statistically, it is wide open.
You know they're going to lose to Syracuse.
So Notre
Dame
at
Syracuse with 1 game left. In
it's
the regular
not
season.
also 5 teams tied. It's a loss.
I said
is a,
5 teams at 9 wins.
Yeah, that's you said basically wide open.
No,
So
I
you said wide open.
I said wide.
That
yeah,
doesn't
but I
mean
didn't say 5 teams tied.
One
I said 5
loss.
teams at wide open.
One loss
Difference.
is a huge loss, and 2 of the teams that they're tied with, 3 of them they've already beaten in the tiebreaker. So
Just saying.
no, I'm just saying too. Your statistics are stupid. When you say that, there's got to be context. And ND, they've already beaten. They're not gonna overget them. Wake, they've already beaten. UNC, they've already beaten.
I said statistically, you can't argue that there's 5 teams with 9 wins.
I quite
That's all I said.
literally just argued back, and I'm telling
What do you think's the biggest?
it's not open.
What do you think's the biggest game left?
Syracuse.
What do you think Syracuse?
At Syracuse, I'm a little
I
scared.
don't know. That this Clemson team wants revenge. They only beat him by 2.
Nah, I'm not
I
worried
kind
about
of think it's the
Clemson.
Wake Forest game because I
At
think
home?
Wake's the second best team in the conference.
They definitely are. Wake Forest is a very, very underrated team. I'm trying to even because Duke played them early January. They beat them by 12. And
Yeah, it was a close game early. Then Duke went on a huge run to close the first half, and then it was just kind of double digits. The entire
Wake
season.
Forest has not been but sometimes Wake Forest is one of those teams like they just throw up duds too. Like the Syracuse game,
Yeah,
they lost by like
Syracuse
30.
game.
It was like, but no,
Lost to Louisville.
It's but that's at home at least for Duke, which I'm
Yeah.
happy about. Like, it's just Syracuse is the one where I'm like, that's just a team
That's
that
a loss.
it's close to the bubble and it's at Syracuse and you never know. And they beat the shit out of them last time.
They
I know.
did, but Syracuse, I don't know. They always figure out a way.
We already know what's going to happen with Syracuse. They're going to win that game, and everyone's going to go, "Oh, look, here comes Syracuse as an 11 seed."
Yeah.
And we're going to yell about how they don't deserve to be in. They're going to get in, and they're going to make the goddamn Sweet 16 like they do every single time. And then I'm going to fight with Syracuse fans on Twitter.
I know my spin zone is kind of shtick or whatever, but it's also not where Duke is giving these teams wins. Like, so Duke, definitely in tournament. UNC last night was a huge win for them, honestly, at Clemson. That's
They
a
need
tournament.
that. If they lose that, I think they're like,
That's tournament type win. So I think UNC is going to get in over these other teams. Wake is definitely in my mind. And then you have Miami, Notre Dame, and now you have to consider Virginia. And like Syracuse is not on there yet, but like it's kind of true what I'm saying.
so as of yesterday, the consensus average on brackets for ACC teams were obviously Duke as a 2 seed, and then you have Wake as a 10, Miami as an 11, UNC as an 11, Notre Dame as one of the last 4 in as 12.
Yeah.
They could get anywhere from like 2 to like 5 or 6.
I think
Yeah, I think
3.
that's fair.
I honestly think 3 is guaranteed. I think 4 is going to get in realistically, but there could be 6 honestly. But I think 3 is guaranteed. I think UNC is play as long as they don't have a meltdown. Like last night was a must win. They're in for that. And then I think like they're going to lose to Duke again probably the last game at Duke, and then I don't know.
I feel like the only surefire lock right now is Duke. I think North Carolina and Wake are very close, but I don't think you can say 100% they're in right now.
Not 100, but I think
like-
it's pretty high.
Like Marty said, all those other teams are capable of just putting up duds. And like
Yeah.
I would not be surprised to see some of these teams that we just talked about lose, like go on a 3-game losing streak where one of the losses are like to Louisville or to, I mean, no one's going to lose to Pittsburgh, but like NC State.
No.
Or,
Syracuse
you know,
did.
something like that where you're just like, ah, shit, now we're outside.
Yeah. But hey, I have to. It's been on my mind all day. Like, yeah, we're saying ACC. Like, oh, there's a possible 6 fucking teams that can get in. That's not a crazy thing to say. There's also could be 2. I understand. But all I keep hearing out of your stupid mouths of you and Rico, San Francisco. Well, watch out for that team. They lost to fucking Portland. We lost to Portland. They're out of the tournament. They're not even in right now. That's
Yes,
a
they
horrible
are. I don't
horrible
think you
loss.
dropped them out. It's a horrible loss.
Santa Clara's in a way better position than San Francisco.
No,
It's not, listen, it's not a good win. But it's tough to beat a team twice in 30 days. I
Shut
blame
the fuck up! It's
WCC.
Portland. Portland, you can't lose. If you're in San Francisco, no joke. I'm WCC. I understand that they're better this year, but you can't lose that game.
No,
That's a
you
game
can't.
you have to win. BYU can't
And it was
buy
at
a win.
home.
BYU's not going to make the tournament.
BYU might be done.
I think they're done.
Yeah, I mean, so BYU has to
They can
win their
run the
last 5,
Yeah.
which would include a win at St. Mary's.
Didn't
to
St.
have a
Mary's
chance.
just lose to Santa Clara?
Well, to Santa Clara, yeah. But Santa Clara might now be on the bubble, too.
Santa Clara's, I mean, they have a win over TCU in the non-conference. That helps. Although they
It's a
lost
bad
to
night for
Cal
WCC.
and-
It's
no
a
way
bad
around it.
night. It's Gonzaga, St. Mary's, and then that half is going to be tough.
It's going to be close
They
now.
really need one of like BYU or San Francisco to win the WCC tournament.
Yeah, no, it was 2.5 was looking good all season, and then now I'm like, wow, I might be wrong. And if I'm wrong, I will admit I'm wrong. But
And who's
Right
been
now-
preaching all year, preaching about that.
That's why we
fucking
talk
con-
about the Mountain West, which
Mountain-
is better
5
than-
teams.
Mountain West is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Bro, Wyoming is sick. I watched them the
I
other
just-
day.
yeah.
That's not a mid-major. That's a fucking high major. I love the Mountain West.
How about
Yeah.
them winning last night with their coach getting ejected 4 minutes into the game or whatever it
Yeah.
was?
yeah, but
Yeah.
Marty, you have also trashed Utah State previously. They're in the Mountain West.
That's I didn't want to put state at the end. I usually hate. I do.
Boise State, San
Ohio,
Diego
Ohio
State.
State. There's so many states.
That's fair. All right, so that's the Mountain West and WCC talk. But the other game Monday night,
Do you think there's another show that does? Sorry to cut you off, but do you think there's another show that talks about the WCC this much?
No.
no, but it's great.
That is.
We got to
it's
give the little guys the love, and as in I mean not you.
It's definitely on
No.
me.
Number
The fact that the Gonzaga still just linked my tweets is so fucking funny to me.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
All right, the other game on Big Monday, number 20 Texas 79, number 8 Kansas 76. You guys said in our last episode, if Texas won this game, you'd be fully back in on them, and they did indeed just do that. This is the team that Chris Beard envisioned, and all of us envisioned at the beginning of the season. They look like a Final Four contender now in this game.
I ranked Texas number 1 in October when I did ranked all 358 Division I teams. I hate Texas so much because they're just playing with my emotions. I want to buy into them so much. That or I want to write them off. I need one or the two. Winning the way they did was impressive, but it's also like you're at home, and it was an awesome game. I need them to beat Baylor so I can just fully commit again.
Yeah, but what you say like that is a win they have to have, but that's also a good team. That's what a good team is. They have to win
Right,
that game.
I know.
Like I know Kansas is like a no matter what, if they lost, no one's gonna like really be like, oh, what the fuck. But like Texas need to win that game. I think I'm back in on them because of that. I bet on. This is so fucked up because I thought I was so smart. I took a future 100 to win $5,000 for them to win, the tournament, like NCAA tournament, and before the game. After the game.
Oh yeah, we talked about that. Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah.
After the game, same odds. Didn't fucking move. I got so fucked. I was like, oh, I'm gonna be so smart. Look at me. I thought I was gonna go to like the 3,500. Nope, same odds. So I mean
But if
that
they do
makes
beat-
sense though. No one knows, bro. They have no idea.
If they beat Baylor, that'll drop, I think, down to like what you said, 35.
No matter what though,
38,
I
something
think
like that.
Texas. If you're a betting person, Texas is a good. That's a great team that if they get hot in March, you could hedge out in the Elite Eight. Like a plus 5,000 is great for them.
Yeah.
They're going to be one of those teams at a 1 seed, because I think Texas is going to end up like a 4. Or if they are 3, like, they're one of those teams, if you're a 1 seed, you hope that Texas becomes a 3 seed. I feel like you don't want like a Texas,
Yeah, but they were 3
Sweet
seed last
16.
year, and they lost to Abilene Christian.
which is why you want them there. Let them lose again in the first round to a 14 seed. But,
yeah,
I mean, it does feel like that Beard's starting to figure it out in the sense of, hey, we do have all these transfers. Like, we talk about Duke and the Kentuckys of the world taking all like freshmen every year. Well, Beard went the opposite route where he has a bunch of transfers in. And remember, like, they weren't healthy to start the year either. Like, Dylan Disu didn't play. He's an important part. They had guys in and out with COVID and injuries. And now, like, they're starting to get it together. They've won, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the last 6.
yeah, the Big 12, that says a lot.
I know. And, like, Now, again, most of them were at home. They lost one of their 2 away games, one obviously being Texas Tech. They have Baylor and Oklahoma on the road coming up. Like, start taking care of business here.
That Texas Tech game is going to be awesome.
I know. Texas Tech fans are going to flood Austin no matter what, too.
Yep.
They're lunatics.
I wish,
They're
like,
lunatics.
if I was, I almost, like, wish, like, if I was Texas, like, I just would ban, I wouldn't let a Texas Tech fan in.
They tried. Texas Tech fans found the code to get into, like, the Ticketmaster Texas portion and bought out a bunch of tickets.
This is what I'm talking
crazy.
about. That's what I'm talking about.
This is college. That's college sports at its finest. That's college sports at its finest.
Timmy Allen, what a night for him. He had 24 points, 11 of 17 from shooting. It's just crazy because we knew that this team coming in was filled with transfers, no chemistry. And look, if this is when they're going to get hot, it makes sense that, all right, they have enough games under their belt. And here we are. I mean, 5 of 6, like you mentioned, Reags. The way they won this game, too, was impressive. They went 3 of 20 from 3.
Yeah, it's not like they shot well. And it was like, I would say it was a physical game, too. Like, the refs were not calling anything, which made it awesome. And the fact that Texas, let's be honest, most Texas teams in the past would have folded in that moment, right? That's a game Kansas wins 9 out of 10 times, especially in the past.
Reags, you are such on the Kool-Aid like me, man. You're making every excuse. I do too, bro. This is the only thing we have in common right now is Texas because I love them. And I've been saying the same thing, like, yeah, all these Texas always crumbles. They would definitely wouldn't have won that game. And I'm like, I'm back in because I've been back and forth like a seesaw on this fucking team. But when you look at it, it's Marcus Carr, man. I think Marcus Carr goes, they go. I think it really does go like that.
He's important. Like, obviously,
I'm not saying but he is like that key piece, I think.
He needs to embrace his role, where it's like he doesn't have to go Minnesota Marcus Carr and go get 40 every night. No,
that's what I mean. Yes. Yeah,
because you do have like Timmy Allen can score, Ramey can score, Bishop can go get a couple buckets. Like Trey Mitchell, we've seen him like at UMass, he was a prolific scorer. Like they have all these options. It's just a matter of not putting it together. And like honestly, like it's a very coaching cliche, but like understanding their roles. And that's if Carr does it, they're going to be good.
One thing with Kansas, and I agree with Texas should be around the 4 seed, maybe even a 3 seed. Kansas, Ochai Agbaji took 7 shots, by far his lowest of the season. We talked about it with Duke and Paolo not getting the ball down the stretch. I mean, he's their best player. He's been awesome this season. He has a very good chance of being a first-team All-American, and I don't know. Well, why not? I know they have Christian Brown. He's a great shooter. Wilson was good in this game, but I feel like Agbaji's their guy.
When you hear these stats and like those numbers, it just doesn't make sense to me where it's like 7 shots. Like there should be something where it's like he needs to have 15 shots no matter what. No matter what. I don't care if he's 0 for 15, he's got to get that number. It's like, how does that even happen? I know when these teams do film, it's like they try and cut him off, get him down, like annoy him. But it's like it's still like when you look at Jabari Smith, that happened to him too against Georgia. Like, Bruce Pearl was like, yeah, it's a bad coach. He needs to get the ball more. It's like, just give him the fucking ball.
And even if he's not getting shots, let him make plays, right? Like Agbaji's a good playmaker. Let him. If he has 8 shots, he should have like 8 assists.
He's going to create
like
space. He's going to create space for everybody else because everyone's focused on him.
What do you think of this Kansas team? Do you think they can win a title?
They're on the fringe for me.
I keep going back and forth with them too.
Sometimes I see them like, holy shit. I mean, against Baylor, I was like, wow, that's the team.
Right.
But then sometimes
you guys are going to get bought in back on them because they have a pretty favorable schedule coming up. Oklahoma State, West Virginia, Kansas State. 3 of those 4 at home. They're going to win all 4 of those games, probably by double figures, and you'll be like, oh, they're 23-4. They're 12-2 in the Big 12.
Yeah.
They win the Big 12 again, probably. Yeah, like it's. And they do like Agbaji's I think probably a first-team All-American, so they had like that top-end talent. It's just something just seems off about this team. I can't really figure out what. Like they try to play to like through McCormick at times. I don't think that's the right play. Obviously, Remy Martin's hurt. He never really fit right with this team. It's just a weird team, but you look and like you said, they're going to end up 24-8. Like,
Right.
It's,
One or
I
two
don't know.
seed. Remember when Remy Martin was the biggest pickup in the transfer portal?
Yeah. I
I don't know. Maryland fans try telling me it was Fats Russell.
Yeah, that's Russell and Kudus will have that too.
That's just a name where it's so good. It's like he's got to be good.
Yeah.
Except he hasn't been good in 5 years.
No.
But now with the Big 12, Kansas has a 1-game lead on Baylor and Texas Tech at the time of this recording. We're recording Wednesday afternoon. Yeah. So again, they of course are comfortable winning the Big 12. It seems like every year. But Texas with a big win.
With a COVID year, do we have a year of eligibility left?
Us?
Yeah.
I think only if you were impacted by
That's
COVID,
some
I would
bullshit.
assume.
I was thinking about it, and I was like, man, I should go play for IUPUI. I should go.
I know.
Oh, that was my love.
I mean, we'll talk about it later then.
Yeah. All right. We'll move on. But before we do, we want to remind you that this podcast, the Barstool Bench Mob, is presented by BetterHelp Online Therapy. We talk about BetterHelp a lot on this show. And this month, we're discussing some of the stigmas around mental health. For example, some people think you should wait until things are unbearable to go to therapy. But that isn't true. Therapy is a tool to utilize before things get worse, and it can help you avoid those lows. Many people think therapy is for quote unquote crazy people, but therapy doesn't mean something's wrong with you. It means you recognize that all humans have emotions and we need to learn to control them, not avoid them. And we've been taught that mental health shouldn't be a part of normal life, but that's wrong too. We take care of our bodies with the gym, the doctor, and nutrition. We should be focusing on our minds just as much. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. Give it a try and see why over 2 million people have used BetterHelp online therapy. This podcast, The Barstool Bench Mob, is sponsored by BetterHelp, and our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/bench. That's BetterHelp.com/bench. All right. The Muss Buss, fully back, 9 in a row, upset over the number 1 team in the country in Auburn, 80-76 in overtime. So where do we begin? Where does Arkansas rank in the SEC now? Is it how awesome was a shirtless Muss Buss in the crowd? Or is it that could this team be the team we saw at the beginning of the season as well, similar to Texas, all those transfers? Are they clicking? Could they be a Final Four dark horse?
Let me first of all, they're the third best team in the SEC. I agree. I think it's 3. I think they're solidified at 3 pretty much. With Arkansas, I'm going to pull a Rico, but I talked to Ruda, like I've said, the assistant coach there, nonstop. He's like, we had a lot of transfers. We didn't have a rotation. We couldn't figure it out. We finally found a rotation that works for JD Notte and works for all these guys. And you can tell. They look like a well-oiled machine now. They are deep. They are playing the great minutes. It takes time to figure that out, and they figured it out, and you could see. And yesterday, the atmosphere definitely helped, but they played a great game. Auburn shouldn't even got it to overtime. They should have closed the game out earlier than that. And Arkansas, I don't know if I'm ready to say Final Four yet, but I can definitely see it. They have the talent, but this is their only real big win so far, and it's a huge win. Don't get me wrong; I'm not taking that away from them. But I think they have a lot more Kentucky. They have Tennessee. Those are games that they gotta, now that they're rolling. Let's see how they really are.
Yeah, I would push back on the Final Four thing too, because again, they're probably going to cap out at a 6 seed, maybe a 5 seed if they really get hot.
I could see 5. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just the path for them to get there is going to be brutal to win 4 in a row. Unless obviously the bracket breaks for them perfectly. But yeah, I think, what Marty said about them figuring out the rotation is correct. They had to try to figure out what to do with Chris Likes and Audius Tony and all these guys, and they're finally starting to get it where I think everybody knows and knew coming into the season, JD Note is their best player, most talented player.
Unbelievable.
So it was right. So it's
Great
like, what can we do to kind
too.
of set it up? Yeah. But like, I agree with Marty. I think they're the third best team. I would have them above Tennessee. I would have them above LSU. That's really the only, and Florida. I guess that's really the talk. And Alabama. But like during this run at LSU, where we're starting to question LSU, bunch of home wins, and then even this, like they called Auburn at home. They have a favorable schedule where they only get Kentucky at home and Auburn.
Yep.
I'm curious to see what they do in the SEC tournament. I'll say that. They are definitely getting back to what we thought they were preseason, but a lot of it too is also a schedule breaking for them. Correct. All part of the game. It matters. But I want to see I kind of want to see how they handle the SEC.
And again, that's not taking away anything of being the number one team.
No.
Like the Auburn is fucking disgusting.
It's a hell of a win, right? It's
like
a hell of a
Jabari
win.
Smith, bro. Some of the shots he made was literally remind me of Kevin Durant. Like not as athletic, but the way he
just looks
shoots
like it, yeah.
and long and like there's some shots you're like, bro, that's a horrible shot. He's right in your face and he whaps in. It's like this guy. I think he's the number one guy overall, definitely. But I just don't again. That's nothing to take away Auburn. They're obviously going to lose again. They're playing the SEC.
They were due to lose at some point.
Yeah, they play now. It's funny though when we think about it. We talked about the SEC almost being the best conference in the beginning of the year. They're so top heavy now. It's very top heavy.
Yeah. The bottom's real bad.
There's a lot of LSU, Alabama turned into an okay teams right now. Later in the year.
But not top 15. Right?
Not top 15.
Right now, there's only two teams you wouldn't be surprised to see in the Final Four, right?
Yeah.
Kentucky and Auburn, if they get to the
just
Final Four.
Funny where we talked about that, where the Big 12 just keeps getting better, and it's getting deeper,
The thing with the Big 12 is the bottom teams all became bubble teams.
Exactly.
The worst teams in the Big 12 are West Virginia, Oklahoma State, and Kansas State.
I have one complaint. About the Arkansas game. So the dunk was fucking awesome. Sick.
Yeah.
That, it didn't even count. I don't give a fuck. He threw that. That was the coolest way to end the game ever in overtime. The lights got to stay on a storm court.
I tweeted that out.
That's a brutal. That guy, that poor fucking Green got who dunked it?
Was it no? Devo Davis dunked it.
Davis dunked it.
I think Devo dunked it. Yeah.
Fucking Green got his balls rubbed on his head on the bottom, and you could tell if those lights were on, he was running towards them. But you can't have 1,000 kids running on the court and the lights be off. How scary that is.
And then starting to flash. You're going to give someone a seizure running out there.
Bro, you just see one orange guy run so fast to him and then turn it off. He goes, where the fuck am I? That's like a rave you don't want to be a part of. It's just I'm on too many drugs. I need to get the fuck out of here. What the fuck is that?
He looked like Jonah Hill and Get Him to the Greek when he smokes to Jeffrey. But it's Wendell Green's so short too. And he was pissed. The court storm weirdly saved Auburn because Wendell Green was ready to scrap.
And every right so to be bad. I obviously
you get nuts on your head, you have to fight a guy.
Yeah, but the lights being off, that's some scary shit.
Dangerous.
Also, they're gonna blow up the picture of the court storm in the offices of Arkansas basketball. Now it's not gonna look as bright.
Yeah, it's their first win over a number one team since 1983 or 84.
Yeah. I mean, Muss having his shirt off was fucking awesome too.
That guy Muss needs to just coach an entire game shirtless. We're getting away from suits. Just that man loves to take his shirt off. Let him coach an entire game that way.
I want to be completely upfront with the listeners. We're very close with Muss. We know we obviously today is a very busy day for him. Everyone wants him. We're waiting to see if he's going to come on or not. It's all good if he doesn't. We told him, we go do you. We'll get you in later in the season. So we're going to still try and get him on. If not, whatever. I mean, we've got to be upfront because everyone's going to be asking because they know we know him. So we asked. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. They got a busy day today.
I gotta shoot Ruta a text. I need to know how Muss took that shirt off so fast, considering he has an arm in a sling.
The sling, yeah.
Like, how many people helped him to be like, come here, coach, let me get this off.
Fucking
Like I do my 2-year-old son, like lifting his arms up in the air.
Rude is so fucking funny after the games. It's great. It's just funny talking to them after. But
he started texting me about wrestling last night. I was like, bro, you just won.
Yeah,
he sent me a text about wrestling.
Yeah, he gets me so excited. He's like, oh, people are asking for you on campus. I'm like, do you want me to fucking get mad? Like, I want to be there. It sounds fucking awesome.
Yeah, do you know how hard it is to get to Fayetteville?
So hard. I don't fit on the planes, Reags. I had to duck to get on. It's fucking horrible.
It's interesting. One thing Auburn fans are going to be mad at if we don't bring up is that Zep Jasper didn't play again, but it's still
doesn't matter.
Arkansas deserves the credit.
It's not like he got hurt. Yeah, let me say something about that, because Auburn fans have been coming at me every time because I made the joke about
I'm going to make sure I'm on Auburn.
Number one Auburn fan.
I'm Auburn's guys right now, so don't make me fucking come back here. Let's hear it.
Well, so they don't understand, because I made the joke that if Auburn had any integrity, they would have come to Rupp Arena and play us at full strength. I got hurt in the middle of the game. That's different than when your guy is out for multiple games and you can plan for it. Yeah, it's a different situation, folks.
It is, but also you got to realize no one understands jokes anymore.
No, trust me.
I got literally told to kill myself. I don't know what's going on because I said Duke. The refs don't like Duke. You gotta know when a joke's coming out. I know I'm a dickhead sometimes, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah, online it can be toxic. One thing I want to bring up is we saw in 2015, and if we get to interview Muss in these next few days or weeks, I want to ask him. We saw Ron Hunter with the lucky stool.
Yep.
I feel like Muss just has to ride out the sling the rest of the season.
Oh yeah, if it doesn't even hurt, you got to do
it. For his career.
Even if it doesn't hurt, you have to do it. You just have to.
Yeah, he's got to be like John Olerud wearing the batting helmet playing first base.
Yeah,
like just be on the stand or be on the sidelines with it.
Oates has the funky jackets. Bob Huggins has the batting practice shirt. Just ride it out.
The chain, yeah. He's got to have his thing, yeah.
I do want to ask him too. Like, I kind of prepared the team for this win. I hit a 3 to end their practice. They all dogpiled on me. Like, if that doesn't happen, if that shouldn't have seen the light of day, Jake. But I prepared them for a dogpile. I prepared them for all this. So shout out me.
And then
your shot selection is about as good as Auburn's to win the game.
We have the Bench Mob Summer Tour Bowl on Saturday. Yeah. Arkansas at Alabama.
It's great.
That's a big game.
It's a huge game.
Like, it's obviously we could have predicted that in the preseason, but then the way the season started, it was kind of like, whatever. Now it's back to being a big game.
Alabama's gonna win. Arkansas's finally back in everyone's like view, like, oh shit, this team's for real, and then Alabama's kind of going on the schneid, and then all of a sudden it's just like, oh, is Alabama back?
Game's in Tuscaloosa. Yeah. Alabama's going to win that game by 11.
So remember, we're recording before Alabama's game tonight at Ole Miss, which I did say was bigger than the Kentucky game.
Must win.
Yeah, they need to win.
And now that's a trap spot.
Yep.
Now that Arkansas won, they can look ahead to Arkansas and say, whoa, we got a chance here now on Saturday. Who cares about Ole Miss?
Yeah.
No offense, Vincy.
It's gonna be interesting. I'm just glad both Arkansas and Alabama, they're most likely both gonna make it, right? They're probably both locks at this point.
I would say they're both like 85% in.
Yeah, unless they lose out.
Like,
but
mayhem can happen.
You're saying Alabama's a lock?
Most likely, I'd say. Their wins are too hard to ignore.
I know, but like if they lose Ole Miss tonight, like that's
they could lose tonight.
Like there is some games that they can be like question marks. I don't think.
Yeah, but then they beat Arkansas, and it's like, okay, now
they beat Arkansas. Yeah. Right. I just don't think it's a lock. I think Arkansas is a lock. Honestly, I think they're a lock. But I think
Alabama's more of a lock than Arkansas.
Really? Just because of the wins. Those wins out really
those three wins matter so much.
I know they do. But then like those losses are horrible.
I know.
Yeah, Missouri and Georgia.
Like those are not those. Like you say, you can't ignore the wins.
But Arkansas,
you can't ignore the losses either.
Arkansas lost to Hofstra.
Yeah, but they didn't lose to Georgia and Vandy.
No, but they did lose to Vandy.
Not Vandy. I'm sorry.
Missouri.
Sorry,
Jake.
Sorry.
Yeah, they lost to Vandy at home, which is not great.
Yeah, no, it's it's fucking an interesting year. This is one of my
It
favorite
would take a
years in long
meltdown for
time.
one of them not to make it, which
Yeah,
is good.
I
We
agree.
want all of our friends of the program in the tournament, and obviously Bruce Pearl being one of them too. They're going to be fine. Their first loss since the day before Thanksgiving.
Yep.
So their loss, by the way, the longest winning streak in college basketball is Rico Bosco's hometown team, Wagner.
Shout out to
Vermont.
Sheer Mason.
Vermont tied in second, 12 in a row. Don't look at
Shout out John Becker.
Yeah. All right. So that was the game of the day on Tuesday. We actually had a loaded slate. There were 3 other games Tuesday with ranked versus ranked teams. We can cluster the 2 Big Ten games because one of them was a blowout. So Purdue, number 3, Purdue 84, number 13, Illinois 68, and then number 14, Wisconsin 70, number 17, Michigan State 62. That leaves us at the time of this recording a 3-way tie in the Big Ten. 10-3 Wisconsin, 10-3 Illinois, 10-3 Purdue.
Hey,
And Ohio State's only a game back in the loss column, right? And they have a bunch of games to make up.
Ohio State, yes, they're 7-3, so they control their own destiny too.
hey, that game last night did nothing for me besides Purdue is like Jaden Ivey's a top 5 pick. That guy is a fucking what he did last night was unreal. They beat
That's
the
when
shit
they're
out
at
of
their
Illinois.
best.
I have not. That does nothing for me for Illinois at home. On the road against Purdue, like I still think they're good. I think Purdue's definitely obviously better. They swept them, but like when Purdue does shit like that, you're like, how can you stop them? But then you also see the other side of them at Rutgers, where it's like, they have that defensive problem sometimes. But yesterday
They do.
was unbelievable.
That's when they're at their best. Is I know everyone likes to look like Zach Edey's just a way too big of a human being. Trevion Williams obviously got all the preseason hype as a potential All-American. Purdue's at their best when they just give Jaden Ivey the ball and say, "You're the best player on the court. Go be the best player." Like when they let him cook, they are one of the 4 to 5 best teams in the country.
And we say there's a
If
lot of
not
these
higher.
teams that where it's like when their best player, when it's just the big man, they're just not as good. But when you have 2 unbelievable big men and that guard, it's like Jesus Christ. And Sasha's
And
no
the perfect
slouch
role
either.
players.
Like
Yeah,
Sasha's
perfect role players.
the perfect role player. Like it's crazy, and he's
You
just
see him with
trolling
Carl post game.
Yeah, he's trolling Carl all
Yeah.
over the place. But it's awesome. It's like they have the recipe, but they're one of those teams where it's like back in the day, Villanova was one of the teams where it's like they keep choking until they don't, and they finally haven't. They've won obviously their championship. No, you don't think about that Villanova. Purdue is that sexy team almost every fucking
They're like Virginia.
year. Yeah, until they don't, but they haven't won.
Right.
So you keep thinking it's like, are they gonna fucking do it or not? So I'm always skeptical of that. But when you see that, like this is the best team they've had in years, and they gotta capitalize.
100%. And Wisconsin, though, like Wisconsin beat Purdue on the road, and they just had another big win at Michigan State. Marty, are you going to backtrack a little? You said you're out on them last episode.
I'm gonna. Wisconsin will never come out of mouth again. That's the last time. That's the last time that W word comes out. That's a team I can't figure out. So I see them against Penn State. I'm like, that's the team. What do you have to say?
I have a take. Go ahead. Finish
Okay.
yours. I have my next.
I see them against Penn State, and I'm like, that's the W words I know. And then I see Michigan State, where Michigan State also has been on the downhill as of late, and then they beat them by a impressive win on the road. It's like, what the fuck? So I'm chasing them. So I'm gonna they're out of my mouth until further notice.
I feel very confident in knowing who Wisconsin is. I think I know Wisconsin and who they are. That game told me more about Michigan State. I'm so out on Michigan State. Like that was a game, 2 teams very similar, right? Like I think Michigan State might have had even a little bit of a higher ceiling because I think as good as Johnny Davis is, I think Michigan State's overall talent is a little bit better than Wisconsin's. And you lose at home like that, Michigan State, I'm completely out on. Wisconsin, I just think we know who they are. They are a team that can win games like that. They're going to be ugly. They're going to be like a 4 or 5 seed. Everyone's going to put them in like the second weekend, but I would be shocked if they make a Final Four.
If I was still making takes about them, I switch what everyone's saying about Providence to them.
Well, that's the thing that's sneaky. So
They're very lucky.
I got a little Reagsy number for you there. Everyone talks about Providence being the luckiest team on KenPom in the rankings and everything. You know, KenPom does have a luck ranking factor.
That's stupid.
Providence is 1, Wisconsin's 3. So like, that's what I'm saying. What you said, it's like right
you,
there.
Reags. Fuck. Why would you make me agree with that fucking idiot KenPom?
I'm just here to do my job.
But they are lucky. They are lucky a little bit. They're playing the right teams at the right time. I fucking can't stand them. I can't stand them.
And Johnny Davis, 25 points on just 11 shots. 6
Cover Johnny Davis. Cover him. That's the game plan, guys. I can be the coach. Brad Davidson, let Brad Davidson shoot. He'll shoot some threes, sure. Wall, just cover Johnny Davis. You will win. The fuck.
That's what crazy. What we talk about the Agbaji. Johnny Davis is doing perfectly. When he's not shooting well, he's at least still like making plays. Like they get him the ball and just say go, and he kind of like will just drive from the wing. But it's like I still feel like I know who Wisconsin is.
What's the thing in the you got to give something up for Lent. I don't care what I'm saying. Passover. I don't.
Give up bread on Passover.
Yeah, you give us something up for Lent, and like you really try and give it up, and it's just hard. I need like one day that I'm allowed to say I can't stop talking about Wisconsin. I can't, and I fucking hate them because I think they're bad. I still think they're bad. I don't care what you all say. I don't think you're good. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm with you. I think they're like the 24th best team in the country. They're 20 to 25, somewhere like that.
Do you think they're a 6th seed right now?
Yeah.
No, I mean, seeding's based on resumes. Their resumes better
they'll get that.
But I think they're the 20th to 25th best team in the country.
Yep.
I don't know.
We're gonna get so much shit for this, but I don't care. That's how I feel. Don't tell me
how I
feel.
And I don't give a shit that they beat undefeated Kentucky, Wisconsin fans. Stop telling me that. We beat you the year before.
Yeah,
but no one will talk about that.
I know.
Wisconsin's really, honestly, I think Wisconsin's in reality in history, which I don't care about history, but I only care about when we win in history. I have to thank them every day because Duke would have lost to Kentucky that year for sure.
I know. Trust me, I played that what if in my head so many times.
1,000%. But Wisconsin was an easy matchup for us. Easy.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, Wisconsin, they have a semi-favorable schedule too. They're home against Rutgers, at Indiana will be tough, then home against Michigan, which unfortunately for Hunter Dickinson and company, for our friend, is probably an easier game.
He stayed alive last night. For like the little heartbeat they have, they stayed alive a little bit.
Yeah, winning.
It's mostly just Jake going like this every time they play. Jake just wants them to be relevant.
Because
I do too.
I do too.
I know you're trying to will it in.
Michigan, bro. That I feel so bad for Hunter.
Hey, they're home against Purdue tonight, Thursday night.
If they beat Purdue, I'm back. No, they're not. I just feel bad for him, bro. He's fucking has 20 points every game. It's crazy.
Yeah. It stinks, but
he's gonna be like third team all Big Ten, which just shows how ridiculous those big guys are there.
Hopefully they can go on a run, but yeah, right now 3-way tie. I say Purdue.
Yeah, I mean I picked Purdue when we did it last time with I think we did it last week when there was like 5 teams. I sneaky think Ohio State would be my second pick.
Okay.
Yeah, they have a very favorable schedule.
Yeah, but I'm also gonna say Wisconsin because I know those folks on Twitter, specifically one who I
don't
Wisconsin's closely is gonna.
They're gonna finish 4th. They're gonna finish 4th. Fuck it. Wisconsin's gonna lose. They're gonna finish 4th. I don't want them. I'm cheering against Wisconsin.
They're not even the top. Yeah, they're not even the 3rd best team in the Big Ten.
All right.
No, I don't think so. I would take Purdue.
Purdue, Ohio State, Illinois.
Yeah, I would take that over them.
Yeah.
Well, Wisconsin did beat Purdue and Ohio State, so it's like I don't know.
I don't know what to tell you, Jake. If I don't like something, don't tell me I have to like it.
I'm not telling you. It's just all right. Anyways, one more big game before our segments. Love, hate, and beating the buzzer in the Big East. Dan Hurley. He's a maniac. We love him, but he is an absolute maniac. Number 24, UConn 80. Number 18, Marquette 72. Is it safe to say now, Reags? I know you corrected me when I said 2-team race. You said 3. Is this it for Marquette? Probably.
Yeah, I think they're toast now. I think if they could have somehow won this game, then we would have really had to talk about Marquette. But they're now
8-5.
They're now 4 back of Providence and 2 back of Nova. Yeah, I think they're toast. It's a 2.5-team race. Like I guess Connecticut still could technically get hot, but it's Providence is going to win the Big East.
Yep.
Yeah, they're 20 and
Providence is
2.
going to win the Big East.
Yeah, they are.
It's crazy. Adama Sanogo. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it crazy to say he's the best big man in the Big East? I'm trying to think of guys off the top of my head who would be in his category.
I guess, how do you classify big man? Like, do you count?
Not a shooter. Not a shooter.
Okay.
Which isn't.
I mean, Jack Nungy's been really good this year for Xavier.
Fair.
It's also
They've
not
been-
fair to say
yeah.
big man without shoot because you're also 10 times better as a big man if you could shoot.
Yeah, Nate Watts.
Okay.
Would it still be Nate Watts?
Not listed as a guard.
I think no. It's definitely an argument you can have. Sanogo is fucking disgusting down there.
Yeah, he's on the short list if he's not the best. It's one
Yeah.
of 3 or 4.
He's top 3 in my mind.
Yeah.
Right. So he's awesome. And then also, this game doesn't change my opinion of Marquette at all. I think they're still one of the great surprises in the Big East and
For sure.
in the country. They've lost 2 of their last 3, but sandwiched in between is a win against Villanova. So it's like that kind of cancels out.
And it's like their losses aren't bad. They're at Providence and at Connecticut. Like, how many times you win that? How many times you lose both those games if you're Marquette? 8 out of 10 times you play them?
They've got to be darn close to being a lock as well, right?
I think so. I mean,
They're a ranked team. They're like, if you're ranked at this point, you have at least an 80 to 85% chance of getting in the tournament.
And that win over Illinois, I know Illinois didn't have Kofi, but that's carrying a lot of weight.
Yeah, it doesn't. I feel like do they look at that?
A little bit, but it's still.
They'll look at it the other way. Like,
Right.
they'll look at it more for Illinois than they will for Marquette.
Yeah.
Let's still give credit to Marquette.
Yeah.
But they swept Villanova. They beat Illinois. And then they don't play a tournament team the rest of the season. Butler, Georgetown, maybe Creighton. Butler, Georgetown, Creighton, Butler, DePaul, St. John's.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they could win out. Even if they lose one game, they're looking at what?
13
21
and
9?
6.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
shout out
they're
Shaka
in.
Smart.
They're in.
They
Yeah,
should
they're
be in. So that's going to be a fun way to end the season in the Big East. Providence 20-2, 10-1 right now. They have a monster game Tuesday night at home against Villanova. That probably will decide it. And then they play Tuesday, March 1st as well. So they still play each other twice, but those games will decide the conference.
Top 10 conferences according to KP, the guy I don't like. Big 12 1, SEC 2.
Agree.
Big 10 3. Agree. Big East 4.
Yep.
Agree. Pac 12 5.
Yeah.
Agree.
They have 2. Yeah.
ACC 6. Yup.
Yep.
Mountain West 7.
Mountain West over the ACC.
No.
ACC 6, Mountain West. Yeah, I mean,
None.
that's an interesting debate. I would listen.
You would be stupid. AAC 8. WCC 9. Atlantic 10-10.
The WCC is better than the AAC.
I mean, this is not me. This is your boy. This is your fucking nerd fuck. And I'm just saying.
I've disagreed with him before. Auburn's
I
now
would
number
switch,
8 in KenPom, by the way, Marty.
8?
8.
This guy, bro. He's such an asshole. It's like, well, how are they 8? They're the best team in the country.
It's predictive rankings. It's
They're
very simple.
They're the best team in the country. You're looking at them. I'm predicting they're the best team in the country.
I agree with KenPom. I agree with KenPom that Kentucky's better than Auburn.
I want
Plus,
this.
he's number 2 right now.
You think this asshole will ever come on the show?
I'll ask him. I won't ask him in that tone.
I did a show with him before. He'll come on.
Okay, I'd love to talk to him. The only problem is he'll probably dummy me because he'll just say big words. But
He's a lot smarter. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. He's doing numbers
Right.
and shit.
Yeah. All right. So that's the Big East. Providence, Villanova play twice. That'll probably decide the conference. All right. Let's wrap up the show with our love, hate, and beating the buzzer. However, before we do that, I know Marty's a big Truebill guy.
Truebill is made for us. It literally is. It's just things you forget about, and they do the things where you don't really remember to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So Truebill, Marty's a huge Truebill fan. I am. Reags, got to hop on board too. Do you know why free trials renew without your consent? It's a business scam out to get you. Don't let greedy corporations pocket your money. Download Truebill to take control of your subscriptions. Truebill is the new app that helps you identify and stop paying for subscriptions you don't need, want, or simply forget about. On average, people save up to $720 per year with Truebill. Because companies make subscriptions hard to cancel, Truebill makes it incredibly simple. Just link your accounts and Truebill will cancel your unwanted subscriptions in one tap. And your Truebill concierge is there when you need them to cancel unwanted subscriptions so you don't have to. Marty just talked about what he saved. Reags, there's got to be something that you
need that.
Just have.
That will save me. I mean, I get yelled at by my wife because shit just shows up to our house. I need Truebill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's fantastic. So Truebill has over 2 million users and helps save them over $100 million. Like Matthew B, who says, in a matter of seconds, I saved $660 for the year on my DirecTV bill, $120 for the year on my SiriusXM bill, and saved $840 a year on car insurance. So it all adds up. Don't fall for subscription scams. Start canceling today at Truebill.com/bench. Go right now, Truebill.com/bench. It could save you thousands a year. Truebill.com/bench. All right. Love, hate, beating the buzzer. Marty, I know you talked about yours earlier. Why don't you lead off?
Yeah, I love that the part in Arkansas where those students can just, when Auburn arrives, that bus turns in and they just are sitting over the top of them screaming at them. That's that's just college basketball. They're not throwing anything. They're not hurting them. They're just yelling at them saying, you fucking suck. That's the best thing of college basketball. These kids wait all year for this. They're camping out. They're doing shit, and they're just waiting for Auburn to get there early in the day, too. The game is at 7, 6 there or whatever it is, and they were just waiting early in the day just to yell at Auburn.
And credit to Auburn for just embracing it. That's what makes the college sports even better. The Auburn Instagram account was tweeting or putting it on their stories, and the players are just laughing walking in.
Yes, exactly.
That's what I want to see. Embrace it, especially when you're the number one team in the country. Embrace it.
Auburn also when the crowd got louder, they almost helped them in a way. It was weird.
I think that's a Bruce Pearl thing. I think Pearl just thrives on that as a coach.
I did hear it's something interesting to talk about too. I did hear that Bruce Pearl overheard someone heard it, whatever, saying it's being number one has been exhausting for our team because we've had a target on our back and it's you get everyone's best shot. And I know we talk about Duke, Kentucky, we talk about Michigan State and Kansas, all these teams. Do you know how crazy it is for these kids? No matter what. I know we shit on Duke, but Virginia, they're getting their best shot because it's Duke. That's how impressive these coaches are over every year. Bruce Pearl has just been in it for 3 weeks. It's been 3 weeks he's been in it, and it's
just ready for a nap.
We're in it for every year, and it's that's a reason why we have 1,600 people on Spaces when Duke loses because they all hate it because they just want to see them lose. And that's my hate. Fuck all of you. I hate everyone that's in my mentions. Duke wins, I get nothing. Duke loses, and I love it. I'll go back and forth with you. I don't care. And I'm on Auburn. I'm not off you guys. I love you. I have you plus 700 to win the SEC regular season. I'm in on you guys. Don't worry. I'm not jumping off.
Yeah, I don't think you should look Auburn was due for a loss. The way they played Georgia close, the way they played Missouri close. They're going to lose one of these games.
That's a great loss, by the way.
It's fine.
I hate when people say
fine,
it, but you went to overtime and you weren't even supposed to be in that spot. You should have lost in regular. Good. It's a good loss.
Yeah, I don't think it's a negative one.
Yeah.
All right. So my love. I'm trying to think the best way to put it. I love how open this year is because we were robbed of a similar year in 2020.
Right.
Right. I love how much we talk about teams where we're just I have no goddamn clue what to think of them. And in 2020, that tournament was going to be set up very similar, and we had it taken from us, obviously, with the coronavirus. Last year, and it's all cyclical, last year was fine. We got the 2 best teams in the country. We got to see that in the title. It's rare that works out. But we are due, and I want just mayhem in the tournament, and it's trending that way, and I love that. I love that there's so many teams that we're I don't know, I guess they could make a Final Four.
Yeah, I mean, we had a monstrous upset last year with Oral Roberts in a 15.
But it still worked out from there, right? It was always bound to be Gonzaga versus Baylor, and we got it, and that's awesome when that happens because it's rare that it does. But 2020 was going to be just that year where you're sitting there on Friday morning, and you go, I'm out of everything. I have no idea. You're screwed with everything. This year kind of feels that way a little bit, and I just feel like we're owed it.
Also, I'm happy you said wake up Friday morning because we have our original schedule back Thursday through Sunday. That's exciting.
Yep.
The Monday thing was weird. And we had to wait an extra day.
I did kind of like the Monday just because, our jobs are so different than anyone else. And I was over at the Barstool Sportsbook in Lawrenceburg, Indiana, and it was kind of nice just having like a Monday at the sports.
I did feel bad for the regular folk out there in cubes, like having to take off or like figure that out. It's tough.
I do hope, I will miss the standalone Sweet 16 games though. That was awesome last year.
Yeah, I did like that.
That was awesome.
Fair, but nothing like Thursday to Sunday.
No, yeah, Thursday to Sunday is correct.
Yeah.
Trying to think what I hate. Man, I don't know. I know what I hate. I hate that we had to grind through an awesome Tuesday schedule just to be let down on Wednesday night. We're recording Wednesday.
Yeah.
Can we transfer some of these good games? It's taking a toll on me. I'm damn near 35 years old and a father. I would like to sleep from time to time on Tuesday nights.
Yeah. And we are recording Wednesday afternoon.
Yeah.
There's nothing, unless there's some sort of brawl. We can make our predictions right now while we're at it.
Oklahoma wins.
Oklahoma, Texas Tech, Tennessee, Mississippi State, Baylor, Kansas State, Xavier, Seton Hall. Those are all like mad games, Ohio State, Rutgers, maybe.
Oklahoma, Mississippi State win.
So all the home teams?
I think, all right, I'll tell you what. The biggest upset is going to be SMU beats Houston.
I have SMU +7 as well, but I've also been
Marty,
waiting
you had Houston losing to Cincinnati the other day.
Yeah, beating my shit out of them. I've been waiting for Houston to lose.
I had Cincinnati +7.5. That did not work out well.
I got SMU +7 tonight too, but I have Oklahoma winning tonight. That's just Texas Tech has been very in the news, very hyped right now. Oklahoma's been lost 8 out of 9, I think.
They've lost 7 of 8, and they have Texas Tech, Kansas, Texas. Their next 3. They need at least 2 to have a chance.
Yeah, they win tonight.
There's going to be one upset. There's going to be one upset tonight.
Yeah,
those 3.
A lot of road teams that are
games
ranked.
are going to lose. Yep.
Yeah, but nothing too crazy. And, of course, that big Alabama Ole Miss game that we've been talking about the last few weeks. But, yeah, a pretty mess late for a Wednesday, which, of course, we would all like to see.
Usually there's always one awesome Wednesday game.
Yeah, Tuesday was so loaded. We mentioned 4 games, ranked versus ranked, I think it was, or 3, plus the Arkansas-Auburn game. But, yeah, it's a week slate tonight. All right, my love, as Marty mentioned as well, the IUPUI open tryout. So IUPUI, your fingers will get a workout to scroll down and find them on KenPom because they are ranked 358 out of 358. The Jaguars are 1-19 this season. Their only win is against Spalding, which is not a D1 team. They're holding open tryouts for the rest of the season. There's got to be a line out the door to be able to play D1 basketball for a month, no?
They've played 6 players in their last few games. Like, you have a legit chance at getting run if you make the team. All it takes is some foul trouble.
Yeah.
There should be. Like, hell, George Hill went to – it's shocking how bad Ooey Pooey is. Like, George Hill went there. It's not like they have, completely sucked forever.
Ooey Pooey's pretty good.
Yeah, I've heard that before. It's great.
You've never heard Ooey Pooey?
No.
Yeah.
I knew Mantis went there, and that was it.
Didn't Vibbs go there, too?
Yeah.
Vibbs.
We didn't talk about this. I'm sorry. I'm all over, but we didn't talk about this, but Woodson sitting all this, suspending the guys.
Yeah.
I fucking love that. I want that known that I love that because he knew they were going to lose to Northwestern by suspending them. He could have played
beating
them.
the buzzer. Yeah. So Northwestern beat Indiana by 8. Xavier Johnson, Parker Stewart, Christian Lander, Tamar Bates, Michael Durr suspended. Rob Finney was out for an injury.
Do you know what they did or no?
I've seen rumors, but I don't know. I've never.
What are the rumors? We don't know if this is true. What they do?
The rumor is allegedly. I'm making sure I use all my right words here.
Yeah.
Big J style, Jake. Caught smoking weed.
Oh, yeah, great. You guys, you fucking too. You would have thought they fucking sexually assaulted someone the way you talked about that.
I'm just saying.
And they smoked
the way
weed.
it's
Yeah,
supposed to be done.
Good though. That's awesome. That brings a team fucking closer. Northwestern kind of have some good wins, by the way, but Indiana, they That's great, Mike Woodson. Good for you.
That's
Even though
it's such an old school guy move, though. Like, all right, I'm suspending everybody for
He's
1
coaching
year.
the Knicks. He doesn't want to put up with
I
this
love
stuff.
that. Even though it's a bullshit, it's we can't do weed, whatever. Regardless,
true.
I love it.
If true.
They didn't have any guards. Like, he easily could have broken up the suspension. Like, all right, you two are suspended this game. You three are suspended the next game. I kind of love that he just punted on an entire game.
I do too.
Yeah. So that was tough. And what I hate, there's two hates. One, I know 2 hates for me is rare.
I know.
One, it's in the same league as the IUPUI team, the Horizon League. I hate right now. So Illinois Chicago joins Stony Brook and James Madison. They're banned from the postseason, and the conference Twitter account is banning some basketball journalists because they're talking smack about the decision.
Love that.
I wonder if they blocked me yet, because I called it bullshit. And
They have not blocked me yet because I would never tweet out something like that.
I told them they should be publicly embarrassed, and now you're doing it for me.
Yeah. So that's one thing I hate. The other thing I hate is the court storm police on Twitter, because Texas won. They're a ranked team and they're Texas. Like, who cares? Just have fun. We've had this debate before.
So here, there's one rule for me. There are 4 teams that can't storm the court.
And you guys are 2 of them.
Duke, Carolina, Kentucky, Kansas. Those 4 can't storm the court. If it's UCLA, Indiana, Michigan State, Louisville, and I'll throw in Gonzaga and Villanova, we will make fun of you if you storm the court. Everyone else I think it's fair game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's just that's something a college kid will never forget. So, like, who cares? But I agree. When Duke or Kentucky did it, that we would never.
It's just weird. Like, yeah, you can't do that. Like, Alabama doesn't storm the field.
Jake, how do you feel about Big J's, your asshole friends, that announce things before the kids do, or before people do?
Well, are you talking about like Schefter and Tom Brady? Like
Rothstein
was getting some heat.
Rothstein tweeting that Garza's retirement nights when we're doing Iowa. Like, let him do it. Like, what does that matter?
Well, did he say it was per release, or was it a sources? Because that's a big difference.
I don't fucking know. I didn't read it.
When did he say it?
I don't know.
I missed the tweet.
I retweeted.
I'll look it up.
I retweeted the tweet that we're going to Iowa that night.
2 weeks.
In 2 weeks.
Yeah, per release. So that means the SID sent out a mass email. So that's not his fault.
But still, I don't like when people do sources.
I think it depends on the situation. Like
announcing where kids gonna go.
I hate when like NBA draft. Can Woj and Sham stop tweeting out picks? Like, can I just watch the NBA draft?
Yeah, that's it too.
Yeah.
That drives me insane. But if it's if it's a trade, I think I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Or for college basketball, I guess a transfer, I'm cool with that.
But if they're signing commitment, yeah.
But let a kid announce his commitment.
Right. That's fair. All right, let's wrap up the show. Beating the buzzer. We've already hit on a lot of games, so this will probably be shorter, and we already talked about the WCC. All right, let's hit it. 3, 2, 1. Reags, we'll start with Alumni Avenue, I'm calling it. Kentucky, Syracuse, both win. I guess by 10 and by 9, but you were scared a little bit.
Yeah, weird things happen at South Carolina, man. Cal's gotten ejected there a couple times. Devin Downey hit a buzzer beater, game winner against John Wall's team. Last night, Jacob Toppin gets hurt. That's actually my hate. Kentucky needs better ankle wrap.
I have one more hate.
They ruin ankles all the time.
You are so lucky. You are so lucky that I did not have Kentucky minus 11. Because that asshole, if that fucking asshole looked around and dunked it just dunked it, went out. What was that? That's crazy.
He saw the clock and then started to pull it out. Then the entire bench told him to go dunk it, and he just didn't get it in at time.
If I had that, bro.
I blogged it. I apologized on behalf of everyone associated with the Kentucky basketball program. I took it upon myself, and I apologized to America because I saw Megan making money tweeting about it.
For the sake of the show.
Called it gross. Big Cat called it gross.
For the sake of the show, thank God I didn't have it, because I would have not stopped talking about it, and I would have fucking been hating you the entire time. I couldn't believe I couldn't even tweet about it because I was so disgusted.
I legit forgot it was 10.5 until a good few minutes afterwards. But listen, I cared about getting a road win. Kentucky got a road win. Ty Washington looks the part again. Kentucky's good. That's all that matters.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Good for you.
And then Syracuse beats Boston College by 9, but again, it's Boston College. But
That
they
made
won
the
4 in a
list.
row. They can get hot.
That made the list.
Forgot Boston
It was
College
Alumni
is in the
Avenue.
ACC.
Alumni Avenue.
was
That's
Alumni
a new
Avenue.
segment now, huh? Got it.
Yeah, we let off with you get your own. You're special. You get your own
Yeah.
lead segment.
Sure.
But yeah, Syracuse hot right now.
Well, if Duke didn't lose, you'd be in here.
Yeah,
No,
it
you
would
know
be
what?
just another game.
I can't wait for Duke Boston College on Saturday, and I want to start off each show with Duke now.
Well, first you got to get through Clemson on Thursday.
That's easy.
All right, moving on. Number 4, Arizona. Ugly start. They were down 16-5 to Arizona State, but win by 12. Back-to-back upsets, not meant to be for Bobby Hurley.
Arizona's good. I love how much of an asshole Kirk Reese is. Like, that's a dude that just embraces college basketball. And I've always had a soft spot for Arizona, so I'm glad that they're back. That's one of those programs I want to be good every year.
I feel like Kirk Reese would be the perfect guest to have on here. I don't think Arizona is open to having people
You
on.
gotta stop protecting people. Didn't they say no? We don't care. We don't want to.
They said they weren't interested. I can pull up the exact
go fuck
words.
themselves, Arizona. I don't give a fuck about them. It's a good team. Fuck them.
Yeah, we asked for Tommy Lloyd a few weeks ago. After further discussion, I don't think this is something we're interested in.
If you can't watch this show, if you don't do your research, I don't like you. This show is the most harmless show in the fucking world. We're almost too fucking nice. I told Jake we need some more edge saying fuck people. So fuck them.
It is what it is. But yeah, Kirk Carissa, still an open invite. Tommy Lloyd as well.
No, there's no invite.
No?
No,
Okay.
I say no. Fuck them.
What if Kirk Reese ignores them saying no and does it himself anyways?
If he's going to say that, then yes, I'm in.
Okay.
But he has to. I want it told to me. And also, all you have to do is like, oh, Marty Mush, I like him. You're so back in.
Yeah, and send an Arizona T-shirt. We're good.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm very viable.
Exactly. Marty, you don't have to talk about this, but a crazy finish in the SoCon. Chattanooga beat Mercer by 2 in overtime. The Mocs have a 2-game
Good
lead.
show.
Already 20 wins.
Chattanooga.
They could be a sneaky 13 seed if they win the SoCon.
Chattanooga.
I mean, Mercer beat Duke out of the SoCon, right? So yeah, let's get Chattanooga Duke coming up here.
Chattanooga's 20-5. I mean, look out. All right. And then Tuesday also, Villanova 75, St. John 69. So Villanova led by 20 with 4:27 left, 17 with 3:08 left, and St. John's had a 3 to tie it with 13 seconds left.
Yeah, that's concerning. Villanova literally could have just taken shot clock violations on every possession and won by 10.
Yeah.
For two fucking guys who love college basketball, we talk about mid-majors, not even fucking talk about Murray State being ranked. Like, I'm going to bring it up, but sure, because I'm the guy who cares about the little guys. But yeah, sure. Fuck you guys.
Yeah. No, Murray State. They moved up my bracket to like a 6 or 7 seed.
Yeah, well,
Murray State's good.
That's me.
22-2.
Don't anyone that's listening, I want to thank you for talking about the little guys.
Yeah.
That's a team I'll watch. They're ranked now.
Yeah, but they also
They're
didn't
fun to
play.
watch, though.
They didn't play this week yet, so that's why we haven't talked about them.
No, that doesn't matter. I still look out for them.
All right, fair enough. Good on you, Marty.
They beat Chattanooga.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, that looks like a good win now. We mentioned Wyoming. They beat Utah State by 2. The winning streak continues 5 straight. They only have 1 loss since December 22nd. That's a scary 7 or 8 seed. For
Yeah,
1 or
especially
2.
because no one's going to watch Mountain West basketball. Even the tournament gets overshadowed because that's one of the ones that it's I think it's in Vegas with 4 other tournaments going on.
Yeah,
I could easily see Wyoming just nobody having any idea that they're good.
right. They're like, who's Wyoming?
Yeah,
all right.
they have legit pros like Grant Ike and Hunter Maldonado. Is that how to pronounce his last name? Maldonado. They're both those two can win 1 to 2 games in the NCAA tournament with you. They're in the Sweet 16. I would not be shocked.
Yeah, they did play Arizona. They lost by 29, but they're 23 right now. Yeah, of course. All right, 2 more. LSU finally gets a win they needed. They beat Texas A&M by 8. Tari Eason off the bench for the first time in 5 games and scored 25 points. I mean, they've shown the potential. I know Pinson's back, which we've been talking about, but they were 12-0, and I don't I wonder if there's been any team that started 12-0 and is like, all right, maybe they might not make the tournament.
I'm sure there is. Like, there had to be some teams that played like shitty non-conference schedules that got that way.
Iowa State.
That was the last game I had.
Was it?
So,
Okay.
West Virginia 79, Iowa State 63. The first win for the Mountaineers since January 11th. And the Cyclones started 12-0. They're 3-8 in Big 12 play.
I'm cheering for Iowa State to make the NCAA tournament with like 4 conference wins.
Yeah,
I want to watch the world burn with that happening.
You think West Virginia's got any chance?
That was the first win since January 11th.
Real hot. They'd have to get real hot. They're
14-9.
Yeah, they're not that bad. Like, that's what I'm saying. I understand that like they're not in right now, but they're not that bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Only against UConn.
8, they have 8 games left. They got to win against at UAB. That's actually like their second best win.
Yeah.
8 games left. If they go
6-2, maybe, and then 2 wins.
6-2 gets them to 6-2 gets them to 20-11, and 9-9 in the Big 12. I think they're in that.
It'll be like them against like a Mountain West team for the bubble.
Yeah.
No, probably.
Yeah, that sounds right. I think they have a chance, Marty.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we'll see. All right, that's our show. Is a certain person going to be back next episode? Is that up in the air? We don't know.
Who fucking knows? He texted me 8 question marks. I'm like, bro, I'm recording the show that you're not on. And he goes, okay, I'm sorry. Like, I have him as he's a fucking puppy to me.
Yeah, he'll be back soon. But thanks again, Reags, for keeping the seat warm. And hopefully we get Musselman on in the next few weeks. But yeah, it should be a great rest of the week.